is Jaya Bhagwana and I'm an authorised celebrant, here and so excited to tell the tale of two people that are undeniably made for loving each other. As we stand on Warramai land, we acknowledge the traditional custodians and their elders past, present and emerging. As a site that has held countless stories over thousands of years, we express gratitude for sharing of the land. And today we're adding another story, the one of Stephanie Claire Dawes and Mark George Geary. To Mark and Steph, their friends and family mean everything. They've both slotted into each other's lives so easily and couldn't imagine things any other way. Steph is so grateful for the way that she was welcomed into Mark's family, slipping straight in like she simply belongs. From family Christmas to the big celebrations, it's always so much fun. Mark adores Steph's family and the way that they prioritise each other, remembering the small things and making every single moment feel significant. In falling head over heels for one another, they've both gained another family to love. And they're so excited to be sharing in today with all of you here. Now, although a little salty that they weren't invited today, I have a message to share from a couple of your dearest. To our favourite humans, happy wedding day. May it be filled with all the things you love most in this world. Good food, wide open spaces, and most importantly, each other. We promise to hold the fort while you're gone and to smother you in slobbers and sassy tail flicks on your return. All our love, meow, meow. Now to the rest of you, welcome. We're all so happy you're here. Now, I'm sure that all of you can remember the crazy events of the last few years. The highs, the lows, the fires, the floods, the lockdowns, and all the chaos that happened in between. Now, what you might not remember is what you were doing this moment last year. But Steph and Mark do. Because exactly 12 months ago, almost to the hour, Steph and Mark got married. What do you guys all think of that? Come on, show that some love. So today, in the company of all the people that matter most, they are finally having the big party. The celebration not only of their marriage, but the fact that they've survived a chaotic, adventure-filled year as husband and wife. So Steph and Mark, turn and face your nearest and dearest. Take a good look. You've made it. And now you're here celebrating with all of your favourite people. No matter where life takes you, the people in front of you are your supporters, your dance floor companions, and your celebrators. They're here because they love you, and they're ready to witness the magic of life unfold. So, my friends, I'm going to get you all to raise your right hands and repeat after me. We, the nearest and dearest of Steph and Mark, promise to make tonight one they'll never forget. We promise to party like 2019 because they're the bloody best. Great, thanks everyone. So now you've all sworn away your sobriety, we'll start this story right back at its humble beginnings. Now, statistically, the most common way to meet a new love interest is through mutual friend or family. But since none of you were any help to either of these two in the pursuit of romance, they turned to the second most popular way of meeting, online, or Tinder, to be specific. Now, for many, it's a place of casual hookups, awkward dates, and weird matches with people from high school. But clearly, not for these two. Swiping through, shirtless selfie, left. Fish picture, left. Sunglasses, left. Hold up, who is that? He is gorgeous. Right. And just like that, the fanciful ding of match sounded on Steph's phone. She couldn't believe her luck. It was instant infatuation. She needed a great opener. This is a great story to tell the grandkids, typed Steph, keen to kick off some banter. And that it did, with Mark quickly returning fire. Almost instantly, both Steph and Mark were rarely seen without phones in hands and grins plastered across their faces. Hours spent chatting, a constant stream of banter, chatter, and selfies had these two swooning over each other. But despite the constant chat, the Instagram follows, and the Facebook friend status, and the fact that they couldn't get each other off their minds, Mark still hadn't suggested a real life meeting, or should I call it a date. So Steph took matters into her own hands. A couple of casual drinks with her friends, Thursday night at Custom's house, just to make sure that he wasn't a weirdo. Sitting down with her pals over a drink, she felt her nerves start to rise. And that's when she saw him. Mark. Tall, handsome, and the dreamiest smile. The nerves faded and the instant infatuation came flooding back. As Mark walked across the beer garden to Steph, he caught sight of that smile. The one that made him swipe right. The one that lights up her entire face. Oh dear, he thought, as he felt his legs start to quiver. Collecting himself, he headed over, placing his hand on the back of her chair. Cool, calm, some might even call it suave. But on the inside, he was absolutely shitting himself. Conversation flowed as easily as the drinks. Steph and Mark laughed, talked, and sipped their way to closing time of Customs House. Not wanting the night to end, they tailed it to the most romantic spot they knew to continue the conversation. King Street Macca's. As the sun began to rise, both Steph and Mark had this little inkling. This might be the best first date ever. And despite the fact that Steph tried to fight it, the chemistry between them was undeniable. As for Mark, well, he was head over heels in love. Dates followed hard and fast, and Steph soon realised that not only was Mark kind and ridiculously handsome, he was hilarious. He was the first person that she wanted to share her news with, and most alarmingly, within weeks, she simply couldn't picture her life without him. Since then, Steph and Mark have spent over 4 million minutes of their life side by side. That's a good thing. Yeah. And what a wild ride it's been. From experiencing life together in their early 20s, navigating their way through career changes, prioritising their travel, and finding themselves, Steph and Mark have experienced many, many forks in the road. They've changed, they've grown, and they've discovered. But at every single moment, at every step, they've chosen each other. They've learned as a couple, they've grown as a couple, and they have never, ever given up on their love. Looking at the two of them now, it's incredible to see the way their relationship has evolved. But also, that together, they're still the youthful, silly, and affectionate couple that they started off as over 7 years ago. Happiness for Mark and Steph is entrenched in the simplicity of the everyday. Whether it's dancing in the kitchen, the random road trips, the movie dates, or staying at home, snuggling on the couch, they're always happy side by side. The age-old adage will tell you that opposites attract. And with Steph and Mark, that is blaringly obvious. Mark is the gung-ho to Steph's indecisive, the unfailing positivity to her sometimes cynic, and the mountainous height to her somewhat small status. But when it comes to the big stuff, they couldn't be more alike. Two authentic, adventure-loving people that value human connection above all else and simply bring out the very best in each other. Mark loves every damn thing about his little miss, right down from her hair to the tips of her toes. Her constant misadventure makes him laugh beyond measure, and the way her smile brightens up her entire face makes him weak at the knees. Being loved by Mark makes Steph feel like the luckiest girl in the world. Steph is truly confident that he is everything she could hope for in a partner. He's patient, kind, and ridiculously mischievous, always keeping her on her toes. But most importantly, Steph and Mark are best friends, each other's greatest supporters, and the one person that can make the toughest day bearable. And that's why, when the world turned to chaos, Mark and Steph clung to the thing that mattered most, each other, and celebrated that by getting married, and have been celebrating that every day since then. Now, 12 months ago, you made some pretty big promises to each other. Steph, you promised to make Mark smile and laugh every single day, to encourage him to chase his dreams, and to gently remind him to exercise. And Mark, you made the promise to be Steph's personal cheer squad, to support her in the grandest ideas, and to misadventure through life together. And well, it's been a huge year of growth for the two of them, with travel, new jobs, putting together their dream house decor, and welcoming not one, but 2 new kittens into the family. And as a couple, they couldn't be happier. As Steph's husband, Mark has felt himself become more patient, taking time to really soak in and enjoy the little moments. And thanks to Steph, he's found reason to smile, laugh, and find a new love for Pilates. Never once has Steph had to question the way that Mark feels about her. He's kept her calm and grounded, making her laugh when she's down, smile when she's stressed, and encourage her pursuit of both work and kittening. So now, 12 months on, I have another question for each of you. And if all sounds okay, you have the chance to respond with, I do. Do you, Mark, present yourself here today, making the ultimate declaration of love to Steph, promising to encourage her to be her best, to make her laugh with your silly jokes, to stock the house with sugar cookies, keep the romance alive, and the reminders for appointments on your phone for the rest of your days?
I do.
Dear Steph, present yourself here today, committing to a lifetime with Mark, promising to cheer his wins as well as his gaming successes, to be his personal travel agent, treasure the little moments, love wholeheartedly, and order your own damn food instead of eating his for the rest of your days.
I absolutely do, but not the ordering the food part.
With 12 months of marriage under their belt, I have no doubt that Steph and Mark are bounding into today's celebration a little bit older, a little bit greyer, and a whole lot wiser than this time last year.
Rude.
So the promises that they've written for each other are sprinkled with not only their hope for the future, but their success as a couple. Now, since Steph has had to make the first move with everything so far, we're going to let Mark go first with the vows. Take it away.
Oh, I get a microphone this time.
Lucky you.
Hi. I got it.
Okay, because I need mine.
I know. Yours.
Thank you.
This is fun. 1 second. Okay. Stephanie, you know me better than anyone. You know, although you would say that I'm... Oh, no, that's right. I remember to stuff this all up. You know that although you would say that I'm good at talking, that I'm also not one for structure or plans. I'm more of an organised chaos, go with the flow type of talker. So writing these vows was quite a challenge. In saying that, it was also the easiest challenge and the only challenge I've had the pleasure of having since meeting you all those years ago. God damn it. When I say that, I mean being with you day in and day out has not been a challenge. Loving you is, as cliche as it may sound, easy as breathing. Spending the rest of my life with you was never a question of when, it was an inevitability. And saying I adopted at an early age in regards to relationships was it's easy to love someone for their positive traits, but for me, true love was loving someone not only for that, but also their quirks and their faults.
There's a lot of them.
I know. And I love you. I promise to always support you in your choices, your passions, whether that's traveling to new or old countries or just to the beach for a sunset, a new hobby or a new career. I promise to lift you up, and when you are down, always try and put a smile back on that beautiful face, be a shoulder to cry on. I promise to champion your victories and achievements and be your personal cheer squad always. I promise to always be willing and able to do anything you need or ask of me, and at any time. Stephanie Claire Dawes, these vows I swear to love and support you in sickness and in health, until death do us part. I also say that with these vows, I join Little Miss on her greatest misadventure in life with the Muffin Man. There are a million things I'd like to say in a billion different ways. Sadly, I don't have the time today, so I'll just finish it with saying that I will love you forever, Steph. Ooh.
Good job. Well done.
Your turn.
We forgot to write new vows, so I'll skip through some of this because it's like 6 pages. Apologies. My muffin. You are my best friend and my sunshine. You fill my soul with a lot of brightness, love, laughter, happiness. That's too close. I love you with all that I am, and my whole soul and heart are yours. Because of you, I love myself. You make me feel beautiful and you make me feel whole every single day in everything that you do and everything that you say. I feel encouraged and I feel loved and I feel at home. You have always embraced me as I am and welcomed every new version of me with open arms. Okay. Here's where it gets long. So first and foremost, I vow to always be your friend. I vow to make you smile every day, and I want to make you laugh, but I know that you're only laughing at me, not with me. I vow to be truthful with you, to be patient and communicate with an open heart and an open mind. I vow to continue to love you wholeheartedly, unconditionally, and without expectation. I will still try to encourage you to come to Pilates with me, but I won't twist your arm. I vow to celebrate our triumphs and to look for silver linings when we are faced with challenges. And I know I haven't been the best at that the past 12 months, even though I promised I would be. I want to grow old with you and grey with you, even though Jay has so rudely pointed out that that's already happening. You look great.
Targeted at me.
It wasn't a target at me either. I vow to continue to sing along with you and all your playlists during our car rides because you're my favourite backup singer. I vow to continue to explore every corner of this beautiful world hand in hand with you. Okay. I loved you yesterday. I love you today. And I vow to love you for all of our tomorrows, even though you hate when I say that. Okay, I'm trying to skip right to the end. Okay. Every day is a new chance for us to be together, to grow together, and to love each other always. It was once said that to live would be an awfully big adventure, but I believe loving you and creating this life of our dreams will be the biggest and best adventure of all. I love you.
I love you too.
You can have that back now.
Mark and Steph, before you finally swipe right, your story was one of almosts and nearlies. A second-hand uniform collected from the childhood home, a collision of video rental stores, and the maybe sightings across the schoolyard. But the most remarkable thing is that in a world of billions of people, you found your other half, your best friend, your lover, your ultimate travel companion, and your spouse. While you've been wearing your rings in secret for the past 12 months, today you've decided to officially bust them out of the boxes. Now, before they exchange them today, Steph and Mark invite you all to make a silent toast, wish, or hope for their future. A reminder that no matter what they face, good or not so, they don't have to face it alone. So Steph and Mark, bring them up. As you place the rings on each other's fingers, you know that you'll always have your friend and family's love and support. But most importantly, let them serve as a reminder that when the two of you are old, wrinkly, and living off a staple diet of corned beef and white sauce, you'll have each other to laugh with, poke fun at, and to love for all of your days.
Steph, I give you this ring. Promising to love you. More each day than the last.
Mark, I give you this ring. Promising to love you. More each day than the last.
Steph and Mark, it's been 12 whole months as husband and wife, and what a whirlwind it's been. So friends and family, your opportunity has finally come. Put your hands together and go absolutely wild for the first wedding anniversary of Steph and Mark. And now, before they get too carried away, I'd like to introduce them for the first time as Mr. and Mrs. Mark and Stephanie Deary.